Hello everyone. In today's lesson, we're going to continue with part 2 of using the subjunctive with adverbial clauses. So let's begin. So in part 1 of using the subjunctive with adverbial clauses, we learned that if we have a sentence joined by any of these phrases, en caso de que, sin que, con tal de que, antes de que, para que, and a menos de que, the verb that goes after any of these phrases uses 100% of the time the subjunctive mood. Now let's take a look at the sentence. Voy en bicicleta a la escuela a menos de que llueva. And I missed the preposition de between menos and que, so please write it. Notice that my verb ir, voy, is using the present tense. And the reason is because in Spanish, we can indicate a future event or a future possibility using the future tense. Now my verb llueva is in the subjunctive, and because it's triggered by the phrase a menos de que. So now let's take a look at part 2. For part 2, we're going to learn the acronym CAMEL H. CAMEL H stands for cuando, aunque, mientras que, en cuanto, which means as soon as, and another equivalent will be tan pronto como, luego, which means after, and another equivalent will be después de que, and the H stands for hasta que, which means until. So when we have two phrases joined by our acronym CAMEL H, if the verb in the first phrase uses the future or a command, a mandato, then the verb in the second phrase would use the subjunctive mood. So let's take a look at the following example. Los aficionados seguirán al conjunto musical después de que salga. So the equivalent in English will be the fans will follow the musical group after it leaves. So notice that the first verb, seguirán, is in the future. Then follows our conjunction después de que, and as a result, my verb to has to be in subjunctive. Let's take a look at a second example. Por favor, termina el guión en cuanto puedas. And by the way, the word guión needs an accent on the O. So the equivalent in English will be, please finish the script as soon as you can. So notice that the verb termina is in the form of the to command. And because I have my conjunction en cuanto, as soon as, then it triggers subjunctive, puedas. But if we have a sentence with two phrases that are joined by our acronym camel H, and the verb in the first sentence is either a past or a verb in the present that either expresses certainty or a routine or habitual action, then the verb in the second sentence needs to be in indicative. So let's take a look at the example. América Ferrera era tímida hasta que tomó una clase de arte. So the equivalent in English will be América Ferrera was shy until she took a drama class or a drama course. So notice that the first verb is in the imperfect, era, and we have our conjunction hasta que, until, but the second verb needs to be in the preterite. So now let's take a look at another example. Cuando el director le dice, esta actriz siempre actúa. So the equivalent in English will be when the director tells her to act, this actress always does it. So notice that the verb decir is used in the present tense and is indicating that it's a habitual action. Every time the director tells the actress to act, she does it. So as a result, the second verb needs to be in the present indicative. So in summary, when we have two phrases joined by the words cuando, aunque, mientras que, en cuanto, luego que, or hasta que, if the verb in the first sentence is either present, indicating a future action, or future, or a mandato, then the verb in my second sentence needs to be in the subjunctive. And that's it for today.